The San Francisco 49ers have been the Los Angeles Rams' arch rival for many, many years, dating way back before I was alive. So I thought it'd be interesting to do a video reacting to what are 49ers fans saying about the Los Angeles Rams. I know sometimes as NFL fans, it's easy to be in echo chambers and just say what we believe and reaffirm each other on that belief. So in the interest of hearing opinions unlike my own, I thought, you know what? I'm going to listen in to a 49ers YouTuber or dual host talking about the Rams. I'm going to do it for the Seahawks and Cardinals as well. But I thought, why not? Let's start with the 49ers here. So this is from the Gold Standard 49ers podcast. Rob and Michelle here. I've heard them a few times. I haven't listened to a ton of their stuff, but I listened to this. This is their schedule prediction show. So they're going through game by game, similar to what I did on the schedule reaction show. But I thought, okay, let's go to the two Rams games and let's hear what are they talking about. What do they think about the Rams? Do I agree with them? Do I disagree with them? Likely. And just what's the different perspective here? So let's get right into it.
Week 3 on the road again. On the road.
Wait, 1-1. I have them 2-0.
You have them 2-0. I'm sorry. Week 3 is
already the shade. The shade, I tell you.
Quote unquote road game against the Los Angeles Rams. Early division test. A lot of people, I included, think that the Rams are the biggest challengers in the NFC West for the 49ers. So it's going to be an important game, and it's early in the year.
Yeah, I think they lost Aaron Donald.
Okay, so Rob gives some props to the Rams there. Okay. And again, like I am the mindset the 49ers, they did win the division last year. And so, it's up to the Rams and other NFC West teams to try and dethrone them.
They lost Raheem Morris. They added some pieces into the secondary. Like, I like the Darius Williams signing, but like Tre'Davious White, he's what, over the last 3 years, he's torn his Achilles and his ACL. I'm pretty sure both of those. Like, and he's getting older. Like, I don't expect him to be ready to go in this game.
Okay, so Michelle makes some interesting points there, talking about the Rams losing Aaron Donald to retirement and then signing Darius Williams and Tre'Davious White, adding to their secondary. She didn't mention Cam Curl. Maybe she does later on. But the Rams did a lot to improve their secondary, bringing in veteran talent. And again, I don't expect Michelle or Rob to follow the Rams as close as I do or any other Rams fan. However, I do think that the Rams made some calculated moves with their secondary to improve it. They're a team that struggled to generate turnovers at times last year. And, their secondary was suspect at times, for sure. So I think bringing in veteran talent actually really helps the Rams a lot, especially with a team with many playmakers like the 49ers. So I politely disagree with Michelle there.
They exceeded. Oh my God, what am I trying to say? Exceeded expectations. I need to take out the over. They exceeded expectations last year, but they'll be pushing.
Okay, so exceeded their expectations. Most Ram fans, I would say, expected the team to be a playoff wildcard team. I was thrilled with what the Rams were able to do, especially on the back half of the season last year. And going into the season, my expectations for the Rams were to be a 9-11 win team, which they were, and a 10-win team in the season. And they almost beat Detroit on the road in the playoffs. So I disagree. I don't think they exceeded expectations. I think they met expectations last year.
Shooting for the playoffs, I don't expect them to be like some amazing team. The offense is young and exciting with Puka and Kyron Williams, but this is a win for me again.
Okay, so she mentions Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams. That's fair. I'm curious where they go with this, because I don't see the Rams as this super young offense. Yes, they have a few young players, but they also have veteran players like Rob Havenstance, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Demarcus Robinson. Like this is a healthy balance of youth and veteran players on the offensive side of the ball. And I think the Rams offense is going to score a lot of points next year.
With the 49ers.
The Rams are good. If they had Aaron Donald, I'd be more worried. But,
Yeah.
I mean, they have a good offense. Okay, but they've had a good offense against the 49ers in other years, too. And the Niners generally seem to get it done. Now, the Rams have bulked up a lot this offseason. I feel like.
And I'm fine giving credit where credit's due. The 49ers have handled the Rams in recent years a number of times. However, I'm not sure they're giving enough credit to what the Rams have done on their O-line. It's a beefier O-line this year, so let's listen in.
Like, especially on the offensive line, they are trying to build a team that is not going to get punked like they usually do physically by the 49ers. Let's see it when it actually happens.
So Rob does give credit. The Rams have beefed up on the offensive line.
I got to see it happen before I believe it. So I'll go W for the 49ers as well in week 3. Week 4.
Okay, so that's their first time talking about the Rams and the 49ers. Interesting perspective. They both mentioned the Aaron Donald retirement a lot, right? And I'll be curious what they say in the matchup later on in the year, and we'll go to that next. But just kind of initial reactions, I don't think they're giving enough credit to what the Rams are doing with their offense, because it is a healthy balance of veteran players and young players. Yes, Kyren Williams is a year 3 for him. He took the league by storm last year. One of the best running backs in football. Puka Nacua was the best rookie wide receiver of all time last year. Excited to see what he's doing in week 2. Him and Cooper Kupp have been working out since 1 week post the Super Bowl together. I don't think they give Cooper Kupp any credit at all, who battled injury all last year and is still an elite wide receiver. We'll see. Let's go see what they say. When we get to the second matchup. Okay, so I fast forward to this is them talking about the second matchup with the Rams. Let's see what they say.
And it's the real home game against the Rams. This is Thursday Night Football, so 2 division games on Thursday Night Football for the 49ers. And it's against Sean McVay and company. Do you have the 49ers continuing their dominance against the Rams? You're going to give LA a split?
Nope. Given win to the 49ers. So I have them only losing 1 game still this whole year. Who even knows if Matthew Stafford makes it this long throughout the year? I mean, he's been dealing with injuries. He's getting older. Again, Puka Nacua and Kyren Williams are so good. But again,
I'm hearing this criticism of Matthew Stafford's injuries. He was injured last year. He played through a lot of it, and he played really well through a lot of it. The other thing that I will say about Matthew Stafford's injury history is, yes, it's there. Yes, it's a concern that you would have injury concerns with any quarterback or any NFL player. Stafford, something that he does well is recovery. And everything we've seen is that he's healthy, that he's ready to go. And I think Matthew Stafford is poised for a really good season next year, especially with this new beefed up offensive line. Steve Avila moving to center. I think we're not giving enough credit where credit's due. The signing of Jonah Jackson from Detroit. They re-signed Kevin Dodson in there. AJ Jackson at the left tackle position. We got big Rob Havenstance at the right tackle. This O-line is going to give Matthew Stafford more time in the pocket.
Williams also got banged up last year. He's a smaller dude. Who knows how healthy he is at this point. I'm giving it to the 49ers.
And okay, that's a valid take about Kyren Williams, that he might get banged up like any running back. That's the Rams drafting Blake Corum, I think, is a response to that as well. So, it's interesting. It's just interesting to see. And again, I don't expect Rob and Michelle to follow the Rams. That's why I'm doing a video like this, just because it's interesting to see the different perspectives.
I know a lot of people like the Rams draft. They drafted the two teammates on the defensive line, which I know in the Rams' mind.
Okay, so he's talking about Verse and Fisk here. Curious what he says here.
according to Jordan Rodriguez, who did like this awesome deep dive on how the Rams.
Total shout out Jordan Rodriguez. That was an incredible segment about how they that incredible article about how the Rams draft, and cool. That props to Rob for reading that. Okay, that's cool.
Went about their scouting and stuff. The Rams really valued that. We'll see how that all turns out. I think the 49ers are going to win that game. I will give them a W in that spot.
Okay, so he gives the props. Then, of course, he takes the Niners to win it.
Well, especially if the 49ers have lost to the Bears the week before. I feel they'll be extra motivated. So I will give them the win in that one against the Rams. Week 16, right before.
Okay, so they didn't talk about the Rams a whole lot in that second matchup there. That makes sense because it's the second time talking about it. You know what? I do think that they it's interesting hearing their perspective. I disagree with them. I think that the Rams will at least split with the Niners this year. They have the Niners sweeping them. And, we'll see. We will see. I'm just going to listen. I'm curious, what are their thoughts on the 49ers, like record predictions as a whole? Just because I would love to know, if you're a Rams fan watching this or any NFL fan, like, do you think that they're maybe being overly optimistic about the 49ers? Obviously the 49ers coming off the Super Bowl loss. They're still a really good team. They've got a good coach in Kyle Shanahan. Okay, so this is their final record predictions for the 49ers. Just curious about this.
14-3, baby.
14-3.
Yep. Which would be much better than their record last year.
The record last year, well, I mean, they still had a great record last year.
Yeah, 14-3 is incredible.
I know.
I have them going 12-5, matching last year's record. So there's the difference, Michelle. It's clear.
Okay, so they have a fun little bet with each other, which is pretty cool. Again, I enjoyed listening to this. It's like I said, I enjoyed listening to other perspectives. So Rob Adam at 12-5, Michelle more optimistic, taking them 14-3. So interesting perspective, very interesting perspective. I think that they are missing a few things that the Rams did, which again, I don't expect them to necessarily follow the Rams the same way that they followed the Niners. But I do think the Rams have made several offseason moves to help combat the Niners specifically. And so we'll see. If you enjoyed this, drop a comment, drop a like, and we'll do more of it. I am going to do it with the 49er or with the Cardinals and with the Seahawks content created as well. But this was a lot of fun. Shout out the Gold Standard 49ers podcast. Rob and Michelle, I really enjoyed hearing your perspective, even though I politely disagree with it. And as always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams.